Hello and welcome back to the podcast. I am More Than Enough, hosted by me, Elvis Kaberuka. Today I've got a fantastic guest of mine, my brother Jesse. I'm super excited to have him on. And the reason why I'm excited to have him on is because we get to witness someone starting his journey of sobriety. On my previous episode, I had my sponsor, Chandy, on, and somehow it so happened that I got in touch with Jesse, who's been on this journey trying to get sober, falling down, getting back up, falling down, getting back up, and called me the other day, just had hit rock bottom, and was just telling me the transformation and everything that he was going through and what led him to that. And I said, man, can you hold on for a second? Can we do this on a podcast? Because I know someone could definitely benefit from it. Like, I know you are really, enjoying this moment. So I'm super thankful to have him on, and hopefully we'll learn something from him. And hopefully this can give encouragement to that person who's doubting, who is just trying the best. And on the last leg, they just feel like they're about to quit, but somehow they keep getting dragged in. So that's why I'm so excited to have my brother Jesse on. So Jesse, thank you very much for coming on. How are you doing today, sir?
Thank you, Luis. I'm doing all right. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you, my man. Hope you're doing great.
Fantastic.
Awesome. So as we jump in, man, I just wanted to do just a quick introduction to the people so that they get to know you. For folks who don't know you, can you tell us something a little bit about yourself, and also what life, was like before, you got sober? Just something very brief. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much, Elvis. My name, as I said previously, my name is Jesse. I'm 38 years old. Originally from Kenya. Moved here 2014. Then lived in California, where my mom and my sister reside. Now I'm in the Army, U.S. Army. I joined the U.S. Army 2 years ago. And now I'm stationed in the great state of Alaska, Fort Wainwright, Alaska.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So in terms of you, before we get into your moment of rock bottom and you deciding, hey, man, I just got to stop this bad habit I'm doing. But what was life like at that point? When did you see that, yo, man, my drinking has become a problem? Something needs to change. When did that realization first happen for you?
As everybody else, or most people, I started drinking at 18, just with friends and stuff, just for creating great moments and celebrations. And been doing that for a while, just not like everyday drink, Fridays and stuff. But then 2018, I got an DUI, and now I lost my car, I lost my license. And from there, henceforth, I started drinking heavily. Though I still held a job, but I was drinking just so that I can sleep. I couldn't sleep at night. But when I joined the Army, I lost a dear friend of mine through suicide. And at that point, I indulged in alcohol more, cause to numb my pain. And during that time too, I was in Alaska, and my coworkers were talking about how I'm gonna die because of winter. And for somebody who is from Kenya originally and I live in California, somebody who had never seen snow, that really hit me. And while awaiting my death sentence, I started drinking heavily until a few months. Let's say from last year, I started drinking more heavily, mostly weekends. I'll drink in my room and will not get out of my room, not answer phone calls, just in the dark. And I've thought about just going to sleep and not waking up. And that's when I knew I had lost hope, and I sought help. And I'm here now.
Wow. Man, that is quite heavy, man. First and foremost, I'm truly sorry about your friend, losing your friend. I know losing a friend is shocking in itself, but losing a friend via suicide, makes things even worse. So I know you'd in our previous discussions, and I think you may have mentioned it as we've been talking. You had you said, I know you said something where you are said something that stood out to me. Were you waiting for your death sentence? What do you mean by that?
Because everybody was telling me, like, not everybody, but some particular people were telling me about how the winter here is so brutal, and I'm gonna be cold until I die. So that's what I mean by I was drinking, awaiting my death sentence.
Oh my gosh. Man, I, I was like, man, that must be a new term in maybe in the 12 levels. Something I've not heard. Oh, oh, so those guys scared you. Okay, because it was very, very cold. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so yeah, I
Got
was
you.
waiting my death sentence.
Got you. Got you. Yeah, yeah. That makes. Yeah, I mean, okay, of course, it makes sense why that would scare you on top of everything that was happening. But just to highlight how we kind of got connected on this journey of yours to sobriety,
Okay.
because I think it's a fantastic story. And then you can expand on on it. So I remember it was sometime in 2022 when you're trying to join the army, but this is before you joined the army. But you called me out of the blue. I think it was in the evening, some day, at least what my memory reminds me of. And you called me, and you had hit some type of rock bottom then because you were just down. You're so down on yourself. Everything was against you. People were against you.
Yes.
Of course, as well, before we're sober, it's everything. Everyone is the problem. We're not the problem. But so I remember that moment, and I remember you being clear about wanting to stop drinking, and you'd even stopped drinking for about a year, as you mentioned. You going to before joining the military, and everything just seemed like it was impossible. You are in some sort of rock bottom. And I remember what was interesting is in that moment when you had decided to, you're done. At that moment, I'm curious, what were you not fully? Do you still have hesitation about your drinking? What was the hesitation at that time? Because you sounded like you're really, really down. Your family was against you. You really felt, man, as low as one could feel. At least it felt like for me. That's what it sounded like. What was that like? What was the hesitation for you like? Because I remember, we talked about maybe you doing the 12 steps, or you doing something to help yourself. What do you think was the cause of that?
That's a good question, Elvis. Elvis, I met you, like, if you can remember, we met in a bar. We struck a friendship, all because we come from neighborly countries. But so as you know, like, somebody from Kenya, um, like, I don't know about now, but in Kenya, like, growing up, like, if you smoke marijuana, there was a stigma. People frown on that. And even when I moved here, I was against that. I didn't want to associate with myself with anybody by smoking marijuana. But when I got my DUI, so when I was down, I started smoking marijuana. I started using cocaine, stuff that people, when I grew up, there was a kind of stuff that was hard drugs, and nobody, like, it was frowned upon. And I indulged in that behavior, drugs and alcohol, until one day, the end of 2021, my sister had a surgery. I think it was New Year's Eve of 2022. That night, I told myself that I'm gonna quit. And honestly, and I thank God, I quit for a year. I quit marijuana, I quit weed, I quit marijuana, and I quit cocaine and alcohol too for a year. So during that, when I was focused, I decided, no, I didn't decide to join the army. I always had an ambition to join the army when I moved to the States, but my mom didn't want me to join. So I kind of put that in my back burner. Like it was like I thought I was never gonna do that. But then um, one day, a friend of mine, called me out of the blues and he's like, Jesse, why can't you join the army? And I told him off. I say, bro, why are you telling me to join the army? And I'm past the age. I was 36 at that time, or 35. And I was like, please don't mess with me. I wanted to do that, but but he kept insisting. So I decided to apply for the army. Luckily, quickly, I was invited to the recruiter's office. And when I went there, um, they found out about my DUI. I told them, but I didn't know that I had a warrant of arrest. So they were understanding, and I quickly made arrangements for a court date. When I went to court, believe it or not, the judge told me that drop the case, and my mother and my sister were there. My mom looked at me while she was driving and she said, "You so lucky. I don't know which God you pray to." But anyway, then shortly after that, I went to boot camp, and I went to boot camp for military. That time I was still sober, but when I came to Alaska is when, after being told about the impending death, that's when I started drinking again. But other than I never, the weed part and the cocaine, I never took part in that again. But the drinking, I started again when I went for life.
Yeah. Wow. No, no. Okay. Wow. That's quite a journey. And before we dive into it, I remember just something that was quite profound about you because one is seeing the blessings that you're getting that moment when you had started letting all this stuff go and trying to live a righteous life, trying to live a life, live for God. I remember it was impossible. The odds, when we're discussing them, the odds of you getting into the army were almost impossible. Because one of my friends also had tried, and it was on the older side. And I remember too, how the case got dismissed because you joining the army was based on that. That was such a miracle. I was just in awe about everything that was happening for you, and it gives me more encouragement because I was like, man, I'm seeing God working through this young man. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Which is still, still a beautiful moment for you to even come to this realization. It's not that I even have a question, to be honest with you, but it's just celebrating this moment, and seeing how far you've come and seeing how God has worked in your life and for it to get to this moment as well. So I'm curious from the moment before we jump into the dark moments and you experiencing the light. How long have you been sober at the moment? When was your last
The
time?
moment, the last drink I had was September 20th, if I'm correct. Yes.
September
So
20th?
that's September 20th. That's almost like 2 months now. 2 months. Yes. 6 weeks. Yes.
Wow. So
Yes.
yes, I wonder how many days that is.
Uh,
Wow.
that's like almost 50 something days. I have to check, but
No, no,
what
yeah.
I know,
Mhm.
what I know is like the days I've been sober have been the best days of my life, and I'm 38 years old. That can tell you something. I've been
Wow.
drinking for 20 years, and this is my best. This is my best time of my life. The last 60 so days out of 20 years is my best 60.
Wow. And I know your best 60 days. Wow. Man, that is congratulations to you, brother. There's an app I'm going to suggest, which I keep. I think it's called I Am Sober. And I remember, man, each day I would keep looking at it, man, each day. Before you know it, man, the days that turn into thousands are becoming 2 years. It's just the beginning. So uh, before before we jump into, I know there's I want to capture that moment and celebrate this thing that you're going through, but before we get to it, getting to, I know you mentioned your rock bottom moment. I know actually I don't think we've discussed the rock bottom moment, to be specific, but you getting there, was that something that pushed you? I know that you losing your friend was a little bit earlier. So was that the thing that led you to deciding to get help right now? Or what was it, the thing that pushed you to the edge to say, man, it's time? And I'm sorry if you answered this question already.
No, yeah, that's a great question. You find, my friend, what really pushed me to seek help is I was tired of waking up feeling the problems were still there, and I was tired of staying relationships that I was having with my loved ones, and I just wanted to make amends. And then I realized that all this, I can only do it through a higher power, my higher power, which is God. Like growing up, like for me, I never thought about asking God for I've asked God for any kind of help, but I never thought like I'll go to God and ask them, God, about my problem with alcohol. But when I realized that I can go to God and God is the only one who can save me, that's when I've always been in tune with my faith. And when I realized that this is a disease and it's not something you can wish away, is when I decided to seek help, professional help.
Wow. Wow. So did you experience any withdrawals or any battles while as you're quitting?
For me, yes, I did. I had withdrawals like throwing up. Uh, um, um, I was throwing up, like my hands was trembling. I was like headaches and stuff like that. That was mine. But it was not pretty severe like other cases I've had. But yes, I did have withdrawal symptoms.
Oh, gotcha. I understand. So, but did you have to seek any medical help, or were you able to weather through that?
I was able to weather through that. Because like, maybe we have talked, maybe we have not really talked, get into depth with that. I had to go for help. The army, I'm grateful, I'm forever grateful for them. They sent me to a facility, like if you want to call it, is a treatment facility where I was there for a month. And that one kind of helped me be, even in my journey, to decide to be sober, because now over the facility, you're able to access, to go to meetings where I was able to see that, able to interact with other people who are going through the same journey, who are recovering alcoholics like myself.
Oh wow, yeah. I think you had mentioned it. So you had mentioned hitting a rock bottom, because I know when we spoke when you spoke a while back, you had mentioned that you were drinking a little bit here and there.
Yes.
And I said, yeah, man. Honestly, if you feel you're in control, cool.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you can't tell anybody, what they're experiencing. And as you know, you had to get to this to yourself. And so you're saying for you to then get to so you got to that rock bottom where you're tired of living with yourself. So you're able to get help, so that the army is able to provide a place where you're able to go get treatment. So that's kind of how this kick-started this sobriety journey, right?
Yeah, that's right. So at first I started going to a therapist, and I told him the truth about my drinking.
Nice.
And that I'm drinking a lot so that I could get some sleep, because of having nightmares and stuff like that. I couldn't sleep. There's a point that I couldn't sleep until I took a drink. So while talking to a therapist, at first I was talking to a therapist, a psychologist.
Yeah.
And they signed me for a program, outpatient program, for 6 weeks, where we were going every day that was my workplace, for 6 weeks. So we're going from 8 to 12, like a group, and we had other people who are having issues, like not just alcoholism, but other stuff, like PTSD, depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. We're all in the same group. Then after that program, they asked me, I requested them that, the program is only from 8 to 12, right? And you still come back to your room. So you come back to your room, like, honestly, and you still do the same thing. You still drink and stuff like that. So I decided, I asked them because I've heard from other friends that there was an intensive inpatient facility. The army has a facility like that. So I requested my therapist if I could be able to go. And luckily enough, my command was supportive of me. So I got a chance to go to Georgia. And when I got there, I was able to find other soldiers from different bases around the states, like army bases, even people from Air Force, Navy, and stuff like that. Even the people higher ups in the army. So I was able to realize that this does not just, it affects everybody. Alcoholism affects even the people who are the higher ups in the army. And and so in that moment, I realized that I'm not the only one who has the problem. So I was able to integrate with other people, and I learned a lot. And from that, that's the first time I ever read a book, a big book. And honestly, when I read the first day I got there, in my room, they had the book in. So that's the only literature material I had. So I opened it. And the first sentence, just when I saw them talking about, like, you realize that our life has become unmanageable. I realized that, and we ask a higher being to help us. I recognize that there's a higher being in the universe the higher being for me is God. That one really resonated well first with me. And I just put it to God to help me. And that's why I'm still in this journey, because I know God. I ask God to guide me. I can do it.
Wow. Wow, man, that is so powerful. And you highlighted something too, which funny enough, when we spoke, you're so excited about the finding that program, that AA, the 12 steps, which yeah, which you're not even aware that we're just done an episode on. And you were highlighting so many things that you found about it. What's been like doing the 12 steps? What is the most exciting thing you found about it? Besides, of course, I know you mentioned, finding God, and turning yourself to God. But what's something else that stood out to you about it?
The one thing that stood out for me about the 12 program, the 12 step, like, I've not, like, to be honest, I've not really started doing the programs, but when I was in Georgia, we were going through the program every single day. We were going to a meeting.
Yeah.
And what really stood out for me is how people are open. It takes a bit of strength for you to be open about the things that you've done, all the things that you've done during your alcoholism. But I saw a lot of people opening up and standing up and speaking the truth. So for me, being honest and being vulnerable is something that stood out for me. And it's a fellowship. Everybody who is there, nobody's judging another one. Everybody who is there has a story. People have amazing stories out here. And I drew strength from those people that I saw who have been sober for 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, and all. So I knew, like, this thing can be done. And just having that camaraderie of people who have the same illness, because to me, like, alcoholism is a disease. So to have that, and in the middle of that, they have a higher power. God is in the middle of it. Yeah. Every day they say the serenity prayer. I've never said the serenity prayer in my life. Like, every day there's a serenity prayer when you begin the meeting, and then when you end, there's a Lord's prayer. For me, that just brings me, like, God is the presence of God, or whoever your higher being is. But there's a higher being at that, and we all there asking Him to guide us, to lead us, and to help us overcome this problem.
No, you're right.
That's really stood out for me. Just people being open about their journeys and all their fears and everything, because you gain strength in that. When you have a community or people around you who have walked the same journey as you, no judgment.
Man, bro, and I can only imagine. And a few things that you said that stood out that kind of just, uh, reminded or refreshed a few things. One was that, alcoholism or just addiction itself is a disease, because it's not, if it was not a disease, anybody could turn it off right away, right? And what does it affect some people compared to others?
Yeah, it's a disease whereby every other disease, some people have it, some people don't. So there's some people who drink alcohol and they are able to stop when they want to. They can have two and that's enough for them. But it's a disease whereby somebody like me, and I knew I'm an alcoholic, I want to keep going. I keep going. I can't know when to stop.
Yeah.
So that's a disease. But for other people, it's not a disease when they know when to stop. They can have two, they can have a dinner and a glass of wine. But me, I want to finish a bottle of wine, stuff like that. So for me, for other people, it's good. They can continue have their drink. They know their limits. But for me, I didn't know my limits. So that is a disease to me. And I need help.
Yeah. No, I can only imagine, man. And also too, seeing other people, as you say, you're seeing all walks of life, in those meetings. As you say, the higher ups, it's not like only, the lower people get affected, right?
Yeah, that's right. The higher up, everybody is affected by the same thing. So just to know that it was amazing.
Wow.
And you have to be in the same place where at that time, none of your rank does not matter. We are in the same thing together.
So I can only imagine. Wow. So about you though, I know the thing that you kept saying that just man, me and my dude Shandy, who's was my sponsor, was celebrating, was how you kept saying, I feel alive, which is something that people who've become sober start to say because you feel like alive more than ever. What's life been like for you? Your body. What's life been like for you?
Oh, yes. That's a good question, Elvis. I feel, like I said, I feel alive. I feel like a burden has been lifted off my shoulder. I feel like stuff that used to bother me, like small stuff that used to make me upset or angry and just act irrationally. Now I'm able to analyze stuff, be calm about situations, and just not act out of impulse. And even I feel like I just feel annoyed about myself. I just feel like I have a new sense, a new purpose, a new sense of life. I just feel like a baby, like how I used to when I was a kid, like with all these dreams. Like my life has turned out to be like a small child,
Oh,
like a young. Jesus, I feel great. I just feel like um, I can not to literally to conquer the world, but I think like just if I ask God for anything, I can be able to get it. I don't have to stress about stuff so much. I just live, I practice mindfulness. I live every day at a time. I don't have to worry about tomorrow or the future. Today, I have to take care of today. And just being sober has taught me how to respect my body. I respect my body because if I respect my body, that's when I can have good energy, good vibes. I can be able to be my relationship will be is good with my friends, my family, everybody's happy because I generate positive vibe that being sober.
I can imagine, man. I know how close you are to your mom. You always mention your mom and your sister.
Yes.
How's things been like with them?
Oh, my mother. Like honestly, if apart from myself, the person that really I could see their pain when I was wallowing in alcoholism, the pain of a mother, just seeing their child, their life spiraling down. That one was hard for me to watch. Even at that particular moment when I was deep in alcoholism, I could just see my mother. She has been the source of. She's been number one supporter of me. Like she always believed in me. And now you can't even imagine now. She's proud of me. And for me, I know that the journey is not over. This is a lifelong journey. I can't lose sight of the goal. I can't be comfortable that, oh, yeah, I don't want to sleep, because if I sleep, that is gonna be, I'm gonna hurt myself more and I'm gonna be disappointed. So for me, I want to live like this for the rest of my life.
Wow, wow, wow. And I know you can, man. I know you can. Like I said, my sponsor is 14 years sober. I'm 5 years sober. And as you say, when we met, where we met at a bar.
Yes, these are the kind of stories that inspire me. Like you and I, we met in a bar, but I knew that I knew there's something about it. I think we met in a bar once, then we met at a grocery store. If you remember that time we met.
Yes.
Yeah, and then from that time, I've always, even when I was down, you're always somebody like, you've always been cheering me on. You've never judged me. And that's why I knew when I met you that maybe I didn't know that we'll connect again like this, but I'm so glad that over the years, we've been in touch. We kept in touch, and I'm now here in your podcast, my story. No, there are people who are going through the same thing.
No, man. Honestly, no. It's all a testament to you, and it takes courage not to ask for help, because that's one thing I never knew, that asking for help is the right thing to do. I was always afraid to ask for help. So honestly, man, I think it's a big testament to yourself. So I want to ask you this. I know you mentioned you did the 12 steps, you did the 6 week, you did the AA 12 steps, you did the 6 week recovery treatment program. You've mentioned you do mindfulness, which is fantastic. You mentioned you do therapy. You mentioned you have a spiritual practice. I think these are all great, positive things that one has to have a healthy lifestyle, and of course to stay sober. But as we talked about in my previous episode, how the 12 steps in AA is really critical. And I know you mentioned you're going to continue it. Is this something you're going to continue doing? Because I know you said you stopped a little bit.
That's a great question. So in for 2019 in Alaska, we only have one a meeting once. It's like it's on Tuesday at 11:30. Like that's during our lunch break. But now I'm gonna start another program next week. I'm gonna start another program where I'll be going for therapy and counseling from 6 to 9 after work. And during in that program, we're gonna be going to AA meetings too. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wow! So not only are they doing therapy, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I got so excited. The army has been really they have a lot of resources if you're just willing and you're honest with yourself.
Yeah.
There's so many resources that can help somebody who wants to get on a journey of sobriety.
Yeah, even for them to make a facility for you to go and get treatment. I don't know a lot of employers that do that.
Yes, that is big. A lot of people don't know. They don't seek for help. Everybody like myself. So many years, I acted like everything was okay, but I was dying inside. I was a functional alcoholic. Like I go to work and everything is perfect, but inside I was dying with alcoholism. So, but a lot of people mask around and think everything is fine, but a lot of people are really in need of help.
No, I can only imagine, man. Okay, so let me see. Just a few more questions. I know we've had you for a little bit. One, what is one thing that upon going through this journey, what is one thing that if you could go back and speak to the version of yourself before you're sober, is that something you could say to that person that was really at the wit's end?
One thing that I really say is resentment. A lot of times, I've resented people resented situations. So one thing that I'll tell my older self not to learn to forgive and to ask for forgiveness too. So resentment is one of the things that I really struggle with, and that's one thing that has really helped in my abuse of alcohol too, to be honest, because I resented a lot of people and I resented a lot of things. But I learned now that there's no need for resentment. I should just forgive people and let them be. If they decide to be bad people, because I'm not God to judge people or to resent people, because some people resent me too. So I have to. That's what I tell my older self. Resentment is something that has weighed me down, and I wish I can't do that.
Mm. That kind of reminds me of the quote by Mandela where he says, revenge or anger, but which can be the same thing, resentment. It's so many things where you are portraying negative energy towards someone else. Is he says revenge, or in this case resentment, is like drinking poison and wishing for the other person to die, you know.
Yeah, so I've wronged people during the course of my drinking escapades, and I should ask people, or I should ask for forgiveness instead of resenting people. So I try to make them people, blame people for my own shortcomings instead of.
Oh wow, that is powerful.
Yes.
Also, you're saying so the people that you've caused pain, you've had resentment, just basically out of shame.
Yes, out of shame.
Oh,
And that's, yes.
oh man, no, that is fun.
Like if somebody tried to correct me like they care for me, but now I act like how me, and now I resent them.
I'm with you, man.
Yes.
I'm with you. I think as you dive into therapy, you'll find out that's a way you protect yourself. You know, that's a way your mind protects itself by pushing and hurting someone before they cross your boundaries. So you may not even know it yourself, but you're protecting yourself not knowing.
Yes, and another thing I learned through his journey is something about cognitive distortions. Just thinking like something about overgeneralizing issues, or like just mind reading. I want to read what their mind is about situations. Like I don't want to jump the gun. So just being like, oh, everything is about me, not thinking about other people. So that is something that has been really hard to make for me. So if I could turn the hand of time, that's what I could have really focused on. Like cognitive distortions.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, I hear you, man. One thing I can, if I was maybe just share some thoughts, having been, 5 years into this, right? Is the thing the thing that's going to allow you to grow the most, among other things, is forgiveness to yourself, right? Because forgiving yourself allows you to start, stepping out of of the places where you hide, because we try to, as human beings, we try to, because of shame, because of guilt, because of resentment. So it's kind of like a house. We try to put ourselves in different corners of the house. So if people come in a house, they won't see those things. And it's like when visitors are coming, there's things that you hide, So understanding that forgiveness is realizing that there's nothing to hide in this room. I am the way I am, and you cannot change the past. And the beautiful thing is that past that you went through got you to here. If you didn't go through that darkness, how could you find the light? I heard somebody say that nobody finds God in light; people find God in darkness. So I think what you're doing is fantastic. You've already done one of the most courageous steps. So forgive yourself. And by forgiving yourself, you then learn to be patient with yourself. because you will make mistakes, you will tumble, you will do this, you will do that. You'll get into situations with people, but the more you can learn to forgive yourself, the more you can learn to be patient, then the more you can overcome a lot of these situations. And you keep getting better and better over time. But of course, it's not easy. Otherwise, if it was easy, anybody could do it. But I think you're really ahead, man.
Thank you so much for that.
No, absolutely, most welcome. So, to conclude, I was wondering, man. So, what is something you could say to someone who's struggling, right, with addiction? It could be to alcohol, it could be any other substance, or it could be, as you said, resentment. We all struggle with different addictions, but we don't know what they are or don't even name them. But they're not ready to change yet. What could you advise somebody who's just right there? And Jesse, you having been sober for almost 2 months now, what would you say?
Honestly, what I can say to somebody who is not ready, who is struggling but they're not ready, there's nobody who can force you to change. It has to come from yourself. Like, people can try to force you, but you have to do a personal inventory of your life so that you can discover your flaws and stuff. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be open to let people know what you've done in your life, the people you've wronged, and ask them for forgiveness. And to be able to forgive those who have wronged you too. And you have to be willing to walk the journey. But the number one thing, I just want to let people know that there is a help out here. If you ask for help, you're gonna get it. Don't die inwardly. There's so many sources of help. And always remember, there's a higher power. Just ask God or whoever your higher power is. Go to them and admit that your life has become unmanageable and you need help. And God surely is not going to let you down.
Wow. Man, I don't think I could have said it any better. That was wonderfully said. I think coming from a very, very authentic place, because as we just shared, man, you've been through it and you are doing your best and taking care of yourself. So I just want to thank you for your time. I just want to thank you for you allowing to be vulnerable. Considering it's just this fresh and it's this new, but I know you care about people and you'd want to help someone as you're helping yourself. So Jesse, brother, I want to thank you, and hopefully in the future we'll continue to talk as you continue to get more insights. And yeah, man, I wish you nothing but the best, and I'm always here if you ever need anything.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for the platform for me to share a little bit. Though I'm still new in my journey, but I thank you, and thank you for always being there for me. And I'll be willing and ready to come next time as we go along this journey and be able to have a conversation with your listener. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries, brother. Thank you very much, man. God bless.
Hi.